Hello there guys and welcome, it's Niran here and today it is time for episode number 35 of our FIFA 14 Aston Villa Career Mode series. Last episode we had two horrific games, first of which was against Arsenal and second which was the third round of the Capital One Cup against Manchester United. We somehow managed to win both, convincingly 3-0 I do believe against Arsenal and then 3-2 against Manchester United. In this episode we will be playing Fulham, who in the past have given us really tricky games, so I'm not really that confident about that game. And then the second game of our Champions League venture against Spartak Moscow. I do believe that game is at home. That will also be a tricky game. We've got quite a lot of good players. But first of all, before we get into a game, I actually decided to go on the free agent list and have a look at some young players. The first of which was Chelio Portillo, a Paraguayan right back. Then we've got this guy, Christian Fofana, an 18-year-old striker. Look at that sprint speed and acceleration. Looks like a really good player. We'll certainly be looking and signing him in January. Got Marcelo Serrano, a right mid from Argentina, who I think was actually already on my shortlist. We've got, look at this, Marcos Paulo Brandt Alexo Leite. Jesus, try saying that 5 times fast. He's a defensive mid from Brazil. Then we've got Mohamed Abdel Malek. Doesn't look amazing, but he is 16 after all. He's from Egypt and he's a centre-back. And we've got the Paraguayan striker Pablo Riquelme there, 19 years of age. Also a free agent looking for a new club. Got Pedro Azagui, who out of the ones that I got is the only one that I know actually exists because he's won FIFA 13. He's from Bolivia. And then we've got finally Sergio Torrejon Moya, a centre-mid from Spain. Now, obviously, you're probably thinking, oh, these guys are going to be crap, oh my god. But actually, it's, to be honest, my youth scouts are bringing me nothing back, so I might as well be looking on the free agents list. I know it takes some time, it actually took me about 20 minutes to find all those guys on the free agents list. Because obviously, you've got to actually look at their scouts. Thankfully, you don't have to scout them, otherwise it would be a horrific task. But yeah, so I thought, well, you know, they're going to be free, their wages are going to be minimal, so in the summer, in January, sorry, I might as well, you know, try and pick one up. Nevertheless, we're going to get into the first game of the episode now against Fulham. It's at home at Villa Park. The squad that we'll be playing, Zila in goal with Klein, Papadopoulos, Vlar and Lowton. No real changes. Broomer, I think, comes into the team instead of Baffin. We've got people like Ake and like Bakuna on the bench and people like that. It's effectively an unchanged squad from the last time against Manchester United. However, fatigue was going to be a problem, and Fulham actually came out the traps very quickly there. Great clearance from Ron Vlaar, otherwise that would have been a surefire goal, but Grenier giving the ball away well, Delph technically, giving it to Luis Muriel, who's clearly signed for Fulham, and a great save there from Ron Robert Zila. From the resulting corner, though, Senderos nods it down, Hangeland finds it, turns all of my players, and coolly slots it past Ron Robert Zila. So A, Brede Hangeland is apparently God, and B, out of the 9 players I think that I counted were in the box, none of them decided to try and tackle them, and instead tried to play some sort of offside track thing. Well, it's not going to work if he's already got the ball. Look at them, they all just run out, let him through, and he's effectively one-on-one. The slide tackle, I think, from Papadopoulos, a little bit too late. At least he tried, but it is 1-0 to Fulham. And having beaten Arsenal and Manchester United, we are now losing to the minnows in comparison, really. Fulham, don't take offence to that, Fulham fans. We did go forward a few minutes later, and Delph, I think it was, who hit the post there, really should have scored, but Muriel going forward for Fulham yet again, and they were playing well. They were playing really well. In the second half, nothing changed. Richardson playing through Kakanich, and thankfully for us he decided to chip it for some reason. Then Brian Ruiz, who clearly picked up an injury, passing it to the ex-Aston Villa player, Al-Ahmadi. He played in Ryan Williams, and somehow the Australian youngster doesn't put it in. I thought at this point, you know what, this is just awful. This is absolutely awful, so I decided to take off Bruma and Juricic, who, to be honest, did nothing, and brought on Lacazette and Backley, and instantly the game changed. Lacazette giving it to Grenier, and he would eventually win a corner in a bit of a haphazard way. But Lacazette and Backley, I don't know what they offered that Bruma and Juricic didn't, but they just seemed to spark us into life. That substitution from the resulting corner, Backley gets the ball after it's headed away, picks it up and slots it into the bottom hand corner in the 79th minute, and after looking, and to be honest, thinking we should have lost, really, because Fulham were playing a lot better than us, to now being able to get a point out of this. It was a nice bit of control, a nice little touch there, and a nice finish, to be honest, from Backley. It wasn't really, it wasn't a very easy chance, put it that way. That equalised the game even, and Lacazette, the other substitute, going forward, the original shot blocked by Senderos, but he finds some space and forces a save out of Martin Stecklenburg. Really, honestly, this substitution changed the entire course of the game. Unfortunately, we couldn't go forward and get a second, even though Fabian Delph did try really late on, but it would end 1-1, ending our 100% record in the Barclays Premier League, but we still have not lost a game yet. To be honest, the ratings are quite average. Backley, being a substitute, getting the best rating out of the team, which is pretty, you know, I mean, that's unacceptable. Lowton, Bruma and Benteke getting all right ratings, and, you know, Klein as well with a 6.8. And again, Lacazette getting a decent rating, having been, having come on as a substitute. I'm about to say be on loan because I've just seen what's come up on the screen, and that is that Ender Stevens, the left back / right back, he's a full back, I know that, has come back from loan from Notts County. That was clearly a short loan. And also Sebastian Roda there, the German holding midfielder, very happy with the playing time that he has. But now, before we get into the second game of the episode against Spartak Moscow, I just thought I'd refresh your brains of the group as it stands. Barcelona leading the group with 3 points after only one game. They beat Spartak Moscow in the first game of the campaign. We are second currently, technically joint really with PSV after that draw, but really we needed to win this game. Spartak Moscow was the team I thought going into this, right, we've got to bank on a win here, but unfortunately fatigue was a little bit of a problem, and it meant that Grenier was, really unable to play. Because, I want to have him fresh for the congested schedule we have in the Barclays Premier League as well, so there were a few changes to the team. I'll show you the full team in a moment. There was also a few youngsters as well making it onto the bench, but here is the full team. Zila in goal still, Klein, Papadopoulos and Blah and Lowton at the back as per usual, and Zobia and Max Meyer coming into the side, with Bakley as well coming in for Filip Juricic, who would, I think, drop to the bench, as well as Gary Gardner and Nathan Ake making it onto the bench too. But going into this game, to be honest, I thought, I know it's going to be tricky. It is Champions League, there's never any easy games. But I thought, I have to win this. Whether it's hard or not, I have to win this game. But we had the first chance of the game, the 12th minute. Benteke, nice little dink ball over the top from Zobia on his weaker foot. He really should have scored, to be honest, but he was on his weaker foot, and we would rue that as Kombarov, one of the Kombarov twins, gets forward, pumps it in towards the Andy Carroll-like figure of Artem Zhuba, and it comes off the post and falls for a man who doesn't actually play for them anymore. I've only just thought about that. Aiden McGeady, who's there to slot it in on the 18th minute, and Zhuba there, I knew he was going to be a problem. He's effectively a Russian Andy Carroll, and we always struggle against Andy Carroll. So I knew that was going to be a problem. On the 18th minute, they took the lead. But look at this. Literally straight from the kick-off, we don't go forward, but we win the ball. Matthew Lowton wins the ball. There's a hole in the defence. Play through for Benteke. What a through ball that was, and what a finish it is from the Belgian beast of a man that is Christian Benteke in the 21st minute. His 11th goal of the season in all competitions already, which is just insane, but some nice work. Really an instant impact. Lowton as well, winning the ball back, and that's a pretty nice through ball, to be honest, for a right back. And there, the finish in off the post to equalise and make the game 1-1, and literally 2 minutes later, Lowton again finding Bakley this time, but his shot is saved by the Spartak Moscow keeper. Bakley then wins the ball off Jano Ananidze, gives the ball to Bruno, and his shot is deflected out wide, very close though, but nothing comes from the corner, unfortunately. Then Roda plays it forward for Benteke, he nods it down for Bakley, and he's got a clear wing to put the ball into. Benteke pulls back, nods it in, and it's 2-1, a great goal there. Benteke there just nonchalantly nodding it in for his brace. Bakley there with some great work down the line, and of course Roda starting off the move as he so often tends to do. What a signing he's been. Really just there, just sort of quietly there, not, minding his own business, but secretly starting off moves all over the show. But then a nice 1-2 between Nathaniel Klein and Bakley on the verge of half-time. So Nathaniel Klein run down the wing, he's going to cut inside past Bocchetti, and he's going to get clotheslined in effect to win as a penalty and to give us a chance to make a 2-goal lead. Bocchetti not happy, but Benteke is going to step up and complete his hat-trick there in the 45th minute, right on the verge of half-time, and then start mingling with the post. A great penalty there from Christian Benteke to give us, I think, actually our second hat-trick in not that many episodes. I think it's about 4 episodes. Juricic, of course, got one, I think, against, was it Swansea? Something like that, I don't know. It was towards the start of the season now. Benteke's got one in the Champions League. We hadn't got one before this season. Now we've got 2 in the space of 4 episodes, but a nice penalty there to make it 3-1. And then, to be honest, the second half was really open. A great save there from Zila against Aiden McGeady, and of course Spartak Moscow will go forward again. This time Lucas Barrios unable to win the header, but he does win the ball, then it comes forwards for Jurado, and they put it in the net. But Jano Ananidze, I think that is offside after it comes off the post from Jurado's shot. So we are very lucky there, but to be honest, we could have scored more in the second half. I know we won, it was fine, we won 3-1. But it was such an open game in the second half. I sort of felt we could have scored, but we were a bit too nonchalant on the ball. Nevertheless, some great ratings there. Benteke with a 9.4. Lowton as well getting a great rating, as well as Bakley, Papadopoulos, and Ron Blah. Nathan Ake as well coming into the side with a 7.1. I forgot to mention that. Did he come on as a substitute? Yeah, he came on as a substitute. And anyway, Nathaniel Klein there getting a 7.8 as well. and Zila getting a decent rating too. But after the game, I actually got a report back on my youth system, and we've got a very French youth system at the moment. Nadia Letelier and Thomas Legate, and I looked at Thomas Legate. His potential wasn't great, neither was his starting overall, so I've decided to release him. So we now only have Nadia Letelier in the youth academy. We'll wait till the end of the season to bring him up, because he tends to the youth players tend to go up stats at the end of the season, so it's a little bit of a way of cheating the system. But now, for the first time, I'm actually selecting the Dutch team for the next set of European qualifiers. We've got Vorm, Stecklenburg and Krul as the goalkeepers, Vlaar, Neutink, De Vries, Heitinga, Van Arnholt, Viergiver, Van der Wiel and Douglas as the defenders. Then we've got Robben, Schneider, Strootman, Wijnaldum, Ola John, Van der Vaart. I was actually thinking of signing for Aston Villa in the summer. Then Van Ginkel, of course, on loan to Aston Villa last season. Then we've got Adam Meyer, who I brought in as a youngster. Then Van Persie, Klaas-Jan Huntelaar and Luciano Narsing completing the Dutch squad for the next set of qualifiers. But finally, in this episode, I'm going to show you guys the table, and we still find ourselves top on 16 points with a 3-point advantage. Now, it's been cut slightly after that draw against Fulham. We've got Spurs behind us now on 13, West Brom continuing their great start to the season on 13 as well. Both Manchester clubs there on 11, joined by Chelsea and Arsenal, a very good 4th to 7th there in terms of the teams there. We've got Southampton, Liverpool not getting the greatest start of the season, followed by Sunderland, Everton and Wigan, one of the newly promoted teams. Down towards the bottom, we've got Fulham, Reading and Stoke as well, just outside the relegation zone. Those guys on 5 points, and we've got Hull City there on 18, and finally Swansea with their first win of the campaign, meaning Leicester, newly promoted side Leicester, are the only team not to win a game so far this season. They are on 2 points at the bottom of the table. But I'm hoping you've enjoyed this episode of Aston Villa Career Mode. Like and subscribe if you did, and comment about enjoying it if you enjoyed it that much. It wasn't quite as blockbuster incredible as the last few episodes, but I'm hoping you guys don't mind that. Nevertheless, have a great day, enjoy yourselves, and goodbye.